Hey there, wedding pros, and welcome back to the Eventful Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Krista Graham. I'm absolutely thrilled to kick off season 2 with you. This season, we're diving deep into the heart of what we as wedding professionals do best, crafting unforgettable wedding experiences and helping our industry thrive. From the first inquiry to the final I do, we'll be exploring every step of the client experience journey. I hope to uncover the magic behind creating seamless, stress-free weddings that keep couples raving and sending you referrals. But more than that, this season is about growth for you, for your business, and for our industry as a whole. I'm passionate about helping each and every one of you reach new heights of success and fulfillment in your wedding business. So buckle up because we're about to embark on an incredible journey together. Get ready for inspiration, insights, and hopefully some fun along the way. Welcome to season 2 of the Eventful Entrepreneur Podcast. So this month we are talking about branding. Branding is how you show yourself and your business to the world. It's my favorite saying about branding is it's what other people say about you when you're not in the room. It will help you attract the right clients. It will help you repel the wrong ones. The best example I can give is I don't really talk about my love of Disney a whole lot in my marketing. I mention it here and there. It might be in my, about me section on my website. But for some reason, I would say at least half of the clients that I get love Disney. And when I go to check out their Instagram, it might be their profile picture is a photo with them in front of Cinderella Castle or a photo of them with Mickey Mouse. So, they show up to our first meeting and they have a Disney Dooney and Burke purse. I mean, that is the power of branding. I feel that it helps create sort of a baseline, a common bond for you and your clients that isn't necessarily wedding related. And it helps, for me, it helps me know my clients on a personal basis, and it helps me elevate the work I do for them because their weddings ultimately seem more personal and more meaningful for them because I know them on that deeper level. So anyway, I could go on and on and on about branding. So luckily, it is our first topic for this month. And we're going to be talking about a different aspect of branding every week in March this month. And my opinion is probably not very popular among professional branding designers, professional graphic artists, things like people like that, because when people ask me, should they invest in professional branding services? If they're a new business, my answer oftentimes is no, not yet. So I'm sorry to those graphic designers and branding artists that are listening. I'm really, really sorry for what I'm about to say. But I think it's helpful for those people too. So let me explain what I mean. When you're a baby business owner and you don't really know who you want to work with, you don't really know what niche that you want to fit into, you don't really know what your style of wedding is, you're going to try everything, okay? You're going to work with every client that comes your way. I started charging $600 for wedding management, and I worked with every single client that came my way and wanted to hire me, whether their wedding was exciting to me or not. That's just how you figure it out. You have to kind of jump in head first and do a lot of weddings. I'd say at least a year's worth of weddings before you really figure out the type of work that you want to do. So, when you are branding your business in the very beginning, you're not going to know what people that you're trying to attract. So, why are you going to invest hundreds, if not thousands of dollars into branding a business that you don't understand yet? On the flip side, for the branding designers and the graphic artists that create logos, um, you are not going to want to work with people who don't know what they're branding yet. They don't understand their business. It's going to be super stressful, super frustrating for you as a professional to get this information out of these clients. They're going to, they're just not going to know what direction they want to go. And it's going to be really, really frustrating for you trying to work with them. So, although my opinion that you don't need a professional branding services in the very beginning might not seem like good advice for those who get paid to brand companies, I think it's helpful for you too. So, that is my opinion. When I started my business, I DIY'd everything. I pretty sure I didn't even subscribe to Canva, or maybe they didn't even have a professional level that you could subscribe to. So Canva offered very minimal design help that was 2015, 2016, probably 2016. So I used Canva to design my first logo. I used it to design social media posts, blog images, website header, everything. I used stock photos before I had weddings or styled shoots to use for images. I used a stock photo service, some of which was free and some of which I paid for. I did a styled shoot in Georgia before I moved to Michigan, and that gave me some photos to use. It is not the type of the style of wedding that I prefer to do now, so I don't use those anymore, but it helped me have something to put out there, some beautiful photos to get started, right? In the beginning, I had friends take my photo with, if they had a nice camera, that was a bonus, but if not, with a cell phone or my little handheld point and shoot camera. I had them take headshots of me just standing against a blank wall, just so I had something to use on my website, on my social media. If I ever wrote a blog post for somebody else, I had a photo of myself to send them. That's how I started out. I worked in the industry doing weddings, helping other wedding planners, and doing my own weddings for a good year and a half or 2 years before I hired a branding designer. This designer helped me hone in on what type of weddings I wanted to do, and she did know me professionally and semi-personally, so she was able to tell me when I would say something that did not make sense to her looking in from the outside, she was able to tell me that and help me hone in on my vision. But I had a good place to start from because I had done so many weddings already. So she helped me, she didn't help me design. She designed with my input, my logo, which I still love. It's been 4 years now, I think. I still love it. It's timeless. It's my name and my business name, and I love it. I still love it to this day. My colors, she helped me hone in on a color palette, which, yes, I have tweaked in the years since with the help of a web designer and just my preferences, but the underlying advice that she gave me for my color story still stands. Bold, saturated colors. We're not pastel, we're jewel tones. We're, like deep magenta. Those colors work best, ironically, both for my business and for the clothes I wear. So that just kind of worked out. She also helped me kind of start thinking about words to use in my marketing that accurately reflect the business that I want to grow and the clients that I wanted to work with. So that was my first paid service, and that was like a year and a half, 2 years into my business. So after I got that, the next year I invested in professional photos at an event. I got permission from my client to bring in my own photographer during setup, and she took new headshots and she took pictures of me actually working throughout the day. We did do some setup type things like me talking on the phone and texting and sitting at the table with my clipboard and my contracts and everything, and like she set up some scenes, but also she got pictures of me telling the rental company how to set the ceremony chairs up, helping the florist hold the installation piece before they could lift it into the ceiling, putting up the seating chart, things like that. And I still use some of those photos. Now, my hair has changed colors since then, so they're obviously not up to date photos, but I still use those every now and then, and I definitely use them in brochures and like photo headers and things like that when I send proposals and stuff like that. I'll use some of those photos, but I really need to actually think about having another photo shoot. Anyway, I digress. So the following year, so the year 1.5 to 2, I did the branding. Year 3, I invested in professional photos. Year 4, I worked with a website designer to design my website. We started with the homepage, so we didn't even do the whole website at one time. We broke it down. He also really helped me do some deeper copy work and some deeper ideal client work in coming up with a lexicon for my business, what words describe me, my business, the clients I work with, the weddings I design, things like that. And that I think really helped him craft the copy for my homepage and design my homepage to reflect what I want ideal clients to see and the journey that I want them to go on through my website. We are now, I've been in business, let's see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I think it's my eighth wedding season coming up. And we're still tweaking the website. We have done the about page, we have added different design elements. We're still kind of tweaking things, and I'm still working with the same web designer. He is also a friend, so I'm quite sure that, he's a little personally invested in it as well. However, we are still tweaking things to this day, and he's still helping me make it better and better and better. So, slowly but surely, I invested in professional services to improve on and narrow in my branding. Now, some ideas of how to pay for these things, or how to be able to, afford professional services, barter services. If you are a florist and you want to work with a professional branding designer, maybe offer to give her florals for special occasions throughout the next year. If she sends flowers on Mother's Day or something like that, maybe you can work out a trade. For a photographer, maybe they have a studio and you can offer to bring them fresh flowers, once a quarter for their waiting room or something like that. Bartering services is a completely acceptable way to do business, in my opinion. If the person is not interested, then they will tell you, and you can move on from that. You can, change the conversation, or you can find somebody else who does want to barter. Newer professionals who can work with a budget and be more flexible on their pricing is an option. A lot of times people are looking for like film students or photographers that have a project to do for a college class, or are just trying to build their portfolio. They might charge a lesser amount than a more established photographer. My biggest tip, and this is going to sound so stupid, but I have seen over and over again that people pay for a website or they pay for photos and they never use them. Like, what is even the point? Once you have those assets, please use them. Use them everywhere. Update your website. Put them on your social media. Put them in your email signature. Change your colors of your email signature. Use your logo on your contracts, on your proposals. Like, put that shit everywhere. I really don't understand why people would pay for an entire website and then once it's ready to be delivered and installed, they just ghost the person. They've already paid for it, and if they don't like it, tell them so they can make it right, but they just ghost them and they don't ever use it. So use the assets, use it to your advantage. Don't be afraid to tweak things if they're not working. If you love magenta this year and then 2 years from now, you decide you hate all pinks in any form, don't be afraid to tweak things a little bit. We grow as people, and I believe our businesses are going to grow as well. So let me know what you think. Send me a DM on Instagram, Christagram_events, and let me know what you think of my advice, good, bad, and ugly. Let me know what questions you have. I will compile them and maybe do a Q&A episode at some point. Maybe the end of each month, if I get enough questions, I can do a Q&A bonus episode. I am working on a new lead magnet for my business, working on a new resource. I'm thinking of doing an email inbox challenge to help you get on top of your emails and get your inbox organized, and maybe even get to inbox 0 every day like I do. I'm working on that still, but for now I'm going to link my business resource list in the show notes. It's all the things that I have used to grow my business in the past few years, so please check them out and consider using some of them. And I will talk to you next week. We are going to be chatting about how to figure out your ideal client using AI. Ooh, it's a buzzword, AI. So come back next week. And until then, I will hope you have a good week.